Hi friends, I'm Casey Taylor with FCC TV, and today we'll be talking to the Laurelwood Garden Club and Fitchburg Public Library. This morning, which is really just now, I have Julie Palioca and Kathy Foster with the Laurelwood Garden Club. Hi, how are you?
Hi, good.
Glad to be here.
Excellent.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you so much for coming. So let's just jump right in.
Okay.
All right, what can you tell me about the history of the Laurelwood Garden Club and the Julia Casey Memorial Planter?
Well, our club was started in 1965. We are 56 years old. The club is 56 years old. And of course, all clubs start out with a few members, but over the years, we have steadily increased our membership, and we are now at 67 members.
That's incredible.
We average about 30 to 35 members at our monthly programs. And our mission, it continues to be to beautify the city of Fitchburg and to bring educational programs and workshops at our meetings. And we currently have members from Fitchburg, Leominster, Ashburnham, Ashby, Lancaster, Lunenburg, Westminster, Winchester, Hubbardston, and Oakmont. And our Laurelwood Garden Clubs are held on the second Friday of the month from September to June. And our memberships are always open to guests who enjoy floral displays, floral arrangements, and our programs that we offer. And we plan our entire program in June and July. We have a program committee that meets during those 2 months. And we confirm our speakers, and we laminate a schedule of events, and we send them out to our members before our September meeting. So we know all the programs and all what's going on for the whole season. We are affiliated with the National Garden Club
Federation.
And we are affiliated, and we are a member of the Garden Club Federation of Mass. There are 9 districts in the Federation group, and we have approximately 172 clubs with 11,000 members. And the Laurelwood Garden Club is the Central North District. And that's the history, and it goes on, and we continue and continue.
That's incredible. I hadn't realized there were so many garden clubs in Massachusetts, but also just so many people invested in them.
And it's all nationally, and they have garden clubs. We also have a national group which consists of Connecticut, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine. So we're
That's
part
incredible.
of that too. Yeah.
Wow.
A lot going on in the garden club.
Excellent, and I do appreciate how efficient you are with planning.
Oh, we have to. Going from meeting month to month is very chaotic. So, and we do a lot of work in those July and August months.
Absolutely.
Contacting people and brainstorming, who to get, what the programs would be, what the topics are, and
Right.
we gather members, also do our programs. So we have
Excellent.
talented people in our group.
I believe it. Excellent.
One of them being Kathy.
So I'll speak to the Julia Casey Memorial Planter. So in 1991, the Garden Club planted the old 19th century horse trough outside of the Elm Street Historical Society back when it was there. Julia, it was funny, was among the people who first planted it in 91. So it was really nice to be asked in 2017 if the Garden Club would like to start replanting it. So we did that, and Julia passed away in May of that same year. So it was July when we were planting it, and we thought, I think Julie thought, oh, we should make this the Julia Casey Memorial Planter.
As well as a civic beautification project that would be ongoing.
Yeah, we were like, oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
And I think the people in the area really enjoyed it. It was very pretty, a lot of butterflies and bees and whatever. So anyway,
It was moved.
oh, it was moved in 2019. The city moved it across town to a more prominent position right beside the newly renovated City Hall. So that's really pretty. It's in this park that you see on the screen, which Rollstone Bank, I
Owns,
think
yeah.
they own and
Yeah.
maintain it. So we've put in this planter, which looks nothing like this now, but it's about 6 feet tall in the center, and a lot of the flowering plants are gone. It's crazy. Yeah, it's closer to that.
Yeah.
Yes, but it is.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful, beautiful piece of artwork, really.
Yeah.
And I just I love seeing it and being around it in person, and I'm sure I'm not the only one.
And the other thing that was really nice was with the money, I think because we had gotten the extra money, we felt like
From
we
the
could
grant,
do
yeah.
hangers. And so there's a trellis behind Julie in the photo, and that had 8 hanging plants, which was just a really nice additional touch. And there are
Nice.
benches that you can sit on.
Yeah, and we have a watering team,
Yeah.
which is very important. We water on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we check it on the weekends if it's warm. So our members do, come up and support. And when we're watering, I mean, we see people walking through and stopping and taking pictures. And I noticed in one of the sentinels there was a picture of a couple that was standing there, and it was in the sentinel, and they were standing in front of our beautification, the horse trough, and I thought that was a wonderful gesture that people are really looking at it, and the public really appreciates it. So that was quite surprising when I saw that in the paper.
Happy for you. That's
And
beautiful.
the best part of this whole planter is we don't have to kneel. We don't have to. We don't have to bend. All the
Yes.
planting is standing up.
Yeah.
But once in a while, we got to get a little step ladder because we got to get to the center.
It does get very tall.
And it's big. It's 1.5 tons,
Wow.
and it's a cast iron, and it's big. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. So where is that in downtown Fitchburg exactly?
So it's called Renaissance Park, but it's
Renaissance
right
Park.
beside
City Hall.
brand new City Hall.
Excellent.
So
And as far as other work that your association does throughout the year, where can people go to see that?
well, we've got Art in Bloom that we partner with the Fitchburg Art Museum. So most of the members, at least half of them, participate in interpreting floral arrangements.
Yeah,
And we do daffodil planting,
Wow.
which we've also done in Renaissance Park, close
Plant-
to the
yeah.
trough.
We
But we
plant a-
do that all over town.
We plant 1,000 daffodils every fall in October, and we pick locations that are in the city. And we've done the Rosestone Park. We've done the signs, welcome signs, in all the city of Fitchburg. We've done Monument Square.
Yeah,
We've done
Burbank.
West Fitchburg. We've done Art in Bloom. Fitchburg Art Museum.
And we're planning to do
This
the
year-
Activate Mill Street area and what?
Morin Square.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
where the
that'll be
Spanish,
pretty.
where the Spanish hiker monument is. Yeah.
Excellent.
yeah.
That's so good.
So we're doing that in a couple of weeks. We'll
Yeah.
plant the
Beautiful.
bulbs.
And what sort of community benefits have you seen in this year, but also in years past, from the work that you do?
I think we just feel like it's kind of beautifying the city, and kind of in the spring, the daffodils are one of the first flowers to pop up, and they're bright yellow. So we feel like that probably lifts people's spirits. And I don't know.
Art in Bloom is one of the
Huge.
big advantages of our community. They come from Boston. They come from all over. It's been going on this will be our 24th year in April at Art in Bloom that we partner with the Fitchburg Art Museum. We have 40 floral interpretations, but because of the COVID, we only had 20, but we were able to go into the museum, which was
Oh,
a
that's
good thing.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yep.
That's exciting. All right. And what sort of challenges have you faced with both the planter? I know you were saying it's large and kind of cumbersome. I'm a very small person, so I remember standing next to it and just being like overwhelmed a little bit by how
It's
large it
gonna
is.
swallow
It's
you up.
beautiful.
Yeah.
But challenges with the planter in and out of COVID, challenges with other projects you guys have done?
COVID really didn't stop us, and we went right through it.
Excellent.
We planted. We used 12. Is it 10-inch hanging pots?
Yeah.
10-inch
was thinking it
hanging
was-
pots.
yeah.
And we do that because it covers instantly. We have instant flowers instead of the little flats.
And
then-
usually they've got several, like a variety of flowers, which is nice for
Yeah.
interest too.
And then we put
Kind
the
of-
canna lilies in the middle, and we've got instant beautification. So and
Excellent.
it keeps growing all year long. Yeah, and the challenges are, getting people to plant, but the city has been helping us do a little bit of the DPW, and
Oh, good.
we have to get permission when we're planting the bulbs. We have to get permission, from the DPW in Fitchburg to plant in the areas. So we've managed to get their attention once in a while. So and they do send some help. And right now I'm working with the North Main group, who's vitalizing Fitchburg and doing the Mill Street
Excellent.
project.
I'm so
that-
excited to see what you do on Mill Street.
Yeah,
There'll be a lot
they're-
of daffodils.
we'll plant
Yeah.
about 800 daffodils.
Daffodils.
Yeah, all along that Mill Street area.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier just about when we first started planting the trough over on Elm Street, there wasn't a water spigot, so we had to each bring gallons of water. So you were thinking it was like 6. I was thinking we each brought 10, so a couple times a week, just watering.
Half those gallons of water, lugging it.
Which
was fun.
Yeah,
Wow. I mean, work out your biceps
that's
a little
right.
bit.
right.
But it was worth it because people really would come by and say how beautiful it was, and
Yeah.
everybody, what's not to love, right? Flowers.
And
Flowers.
especially during the pandemic when we're all
Yeah.
cooped up inside, it's so wonderful. I know I spent a good amount of time around that planter
Oh, good.
with some friends last summer.
Nice.
It was just nice to be outside.
So refreshing. It's so relaxed. and,
Exactly.
yeah, it's like a sanctuary,
An
Yes.
oasis.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
right in downtown.
Yeah.
And how can the general public get involved with the Laurelwood Garden Club? Say my neighbor wants to join.
Well, she should come to a meeting, and now we've changed the location. It used to be at the Art Museum, but because they've got a limitation of 25 people that can meet, we're meeting at the Fitchburg Senior Center on Wallace Street. And it's 9:30, second Friday of the month. The next meeting is Ingrid Wheeler from Ingrid's Gardens, and she's talking about how to winterize your garden. So that should be a good one.
Maybe I'll see you there.
Yeah, and
Oh, good. Yeah, come
you
on.
can,
That sounds very cool.
Guests can come, and one of the interesting programs that we have, I think, is the history of the potato.
Luther
Now,
Burbank.
Luther Burbank created the Idaho and russet potato here in Lunenburg.
Lancaster.
He lived in Lancaster, but
Yeah.
I think he
Oh.
created it in Lunenburg. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
it was right in our
Wow.
backyards. That's where it comes from. Then moved to California. But that's the history of the potato, which we're going to have in, I don't know, February or March. Or
That's
those
so fun.
months. Yeah. We have a workshop on, we're going to force bulbs on in a container, take that container home. It's going to be layered, and then we're going to see them in the spring like daffodils and tulips.
Beautiful.
And we do, we're doing a workshop on doing
Card making.
floral note cards. Going to make those. And we have a lot of interesting. We don't really do stuff digging in the ground for programs. We have upscale, programs.
Slideshows and
Yeah.
things. We just had Jana Milbacher from Enchanted Gardens.
Wow.
She wrote a couple books. She was very good.
That sounds great. I'm very excited
Yeah, you
to
should
see what
join.
you guys
Yeah.
do in the next year. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Very much appreciated.
And you can contact Catherine and I if you're interested in the garden club, and it usually is in the Sentinel every month.
Advertised.
So advertised in the Leominster Champion and the Lunenburg Ledger.
Excellent.
So,
Excellent.
we do try and get ourselves out there, but
It
we
works.
hope. And we want to thank you for allowing this grant to happen and to keep the events in the city of Fitchburg going. It's a very nice program and project. It's well received, and we appreciate it.
Well, thank you goes both ways.
Yep.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much.
It's that time of the year again. Fitchburg Cultural Council is accepting grant applications for cultural programs that benefit the Fitchburg community. Got an incredible idea that needs funding? We can help. These programs must be in the arts, science, or humanities. It must have public benefits. And finally, be sure it meets our council priorities and guidelines determined from our grantee reception and community input events on Friday, August 13th at the Fitchburg Art Museum. So, if you're looking for operating support, need funding for a ticket subsidy program, field trip, artist residence, public art, fellowship, community events, programs, or more, apply at mass-culture.org/Fitchburg. Applications open September 1st, and the deadline is October 15th at 11:59 p.m. Check our Facebook and website for grant training dates or email us at fitchburg.mcc@gmail.com if you need assistance. Hi, I'm Audrey from the Fitchburg Cultural Council, and we're looking for new members. If you can speak and write in multiple languages, have bookkeeping skills or graphic design skills, are interested in social media or promotion, are a high school or college student, a Fitchburg business owner, artist, scientist, humanist, or just want to be involved with arts and culture here and have a say on how we spend our state allocated money, please consider joining the council. The only requirement is that you live or work in Fitchburg and can commit to attending our monthly meetings and grant review meetings. You may have heard of some of the local programs we funded, like the Block Party every year on July 3rd, the Blacksmith and Renaissance Festival, concerts on the Common, the Fitchburg Art Museum's annual regional show, New Players Theater Guild, Stratton Players, or the Forge Theater Plays. If you haven't come to our meetings, check out our City Hall webpage and get more involved with all the amazing and cool events happening here in our city. The Fitchburg Cultural Council, or FCC, also organizes Fitchburg Open Studios, creative meet and greets, networking events, and have our own Fitchburg Access show called FCC TV, which airs Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on FATV. We are part of City Hall as a municipal committee, which means we're legit. And every year, the state, through Mass Cultural Council, gives the city of Fitchburg money for art, science, and humanities programs. We go through the applications, and each member votes on which programs they consider eligible, is fully accessible, and benefits our community. In this way, your perspective could be vital. If you are interested in volunteering to become a voting council member, come attend one of our meetings, which are always open to the public, and see what we do. We meet every third Tuesday of the month at 4:30 p.m. at the Legislative Building next to City Hall. Introduce yourself, and at the end, if you are serious, schedule a meeting with one of our members to have a sit-down chat at a later date for an info session. Check our City of Fitchburg website for our calendar of FCC-funded events and programs, important dates, and meeting information, including Zoom links if you cannot attend in person. We hope to see you soon.
Bounce it off, 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 bounce it off. This is the bass sound, and then you want to use the top of your hand where the fingers come down and meet the palm. Line that up, and you start to bounce that off like that, and you get the middle sound or the high sound, the tone. You don't have to hit it hard.
Welcome back to FCC TV. I'm your host, Casey Taylor, and today with me I have Ashley Kenney from the Fitchburg Public Library. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you for coming here today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness, so polite. So what can you tell us about the backstory, I guess, of the Fitchburg Public Library and public programming there?
Sure. So the library, as you probably know, has been around for a very long time. It was founded in the 1850s, and we've been in the building that we're in now since 1967, I think. And we do public programming for a huge variety of patrons because we are there to serve everybody. So we have things for the kids like story times and crafts. We have teen programs like game nights, and we also have programs for adults, which could be concerts. We have adult craft programs too, classes, workshops, all kinds of things.
Wow, incredible. That sounds great. I have to look into programming at the public library more, to be honest. I'm sorry. Could you give us a little background on the programs A Fascinating Rhythm, Tales from the Home of the World's Worst Weather, and Tales and Tales, which are 3 programs that the council has helped fund this year?
Yeah, definitely. So Fascinating Rhythms is one that we hosted, I think it was on September 9th, and we were really happy to host it. It was a gentleman named Cornell Coley. He is a music educator, and he's very well known in the Boston area, and he did some cool Afro-Latin drumming. So he did partially a little concert. He demonstrated all these different instruments from all of these different cultures, and then he pulled some people up onto the stage, and we got to try out some of the instruments.
Ah, that sounds so good.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Home of the World's Worst Weather, I think, is the next one you asked about.
Yeah, it was everything at once. Sorry.
That's okay. So that's coming up actually in a couple days on Thursday, the 30th.
Oh, fun.
It's going to be at 7 o'clock on Zoom. So this one is going to be a virtual program. We have someone from the Mount Washington Observatory, and he's going to talk to us about what it's like to live at the summit of Mount Washington. They have people stationed there 24/7 since I think 1932.
I
or
didn't even
something
know
like
that was a thing.
Yeah. So they literally see some of the world's worst weather up there. So it'll be a great STEM program, like if you have students who are interested in it, whether it's high schoolers. I think they say it's good for ages 6 and up. He's going to show like weather instruments and some video footage and things like that. So that'll
Is
be
it
a cool one.
appropriate for adults?
It is appropriate for adults too, definitely.
Oh,
Yep,
so
all
exciting.
ages.
And Tales and Tales.
Tales and Tales. This one's mostly for kids. It is a magician and balloon artist. His name is, he goes by Jungle Jim, is his stage name.
Yes.
So he's going to do a little magic show. I think part of it is he climbs into a 6-foot balloon, like puts his whole body in a gigantic balloon, which will be kind of fun. And otherwise, he's going to kind of do some storytelling with his balloons, hence the Tales part of the Tales and Tales. So it'll be a lot of fun. That one is in person at the library, and you can register online.
That sounds very strange and really fascinating and very exciting. All right, so
Should
what
be
sort
fun.
of a benefit have you seen from the first program that has taken place, but generally also just programming that you do throughout the year at the public library?
Yeah, I think the great thing about library programs is that they are free for anyone to attend or sign up for. You know, if it's a Zoom program, anyone can sign up and Zoom in with us. So, you know, there are a lot of things that we try to bring that people may not be able to afford to do on their own. You know, things like we bring the animal, they're called animal adventures. You know, they bring the animals to you. So if you can't visit something like Davis Farmland or things like that, then you can come to the library and, you know, meet some animals and things like that. So
Nice.
just providing something that's accessible to everyone.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And what sort of challenges have you seen throughout COVID with public programming? Have you guys faced any particular challenges?
Yeah, I guess the big one is when we had to convert stuff from being in person to being virtual. We did have some things that we had to cancel or postpone early on, but some things we were able to transition to virtual. And it's been very different, but I think it's gone well. We've gotten great attendance at some of our virtual events, and it's nice that people who, you know, maybe wouldn't be able to make it out that night, or you know, they can check it out from work on their break, or you know, just be on the couch in your pajamas watching a concert instead of, you know, having to get in your car and drive somewhere.
And it does make a huge
So,
difference.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So in light of those changes that you've been making, What sort of steps has Fitchburg Public Library been taking this year to make sure, and really over the past 18 months, I keep saying this year, but it's, since
Yeah.
March of last year,
True.
to make sure that programming is accessible to our community members.
Yeah. Well, the challenge with virtual programming is, of course, not everybody has reliable internet access. So now that we're open, certainly anyone who doesn't have access but would like to attend a virtual program can come down to the library, and they can use our public computers and or our Wi-Fi if they want to use their phone, and they can access it that way. But in other ways, I think the virtual option, like we were talking about, has expanded access. It's made it easier for people whose schedules might not jive to attend our programs. And in person, we just try to be accessible in person in any way we can. We're a pretty centralized location that's easy for people to get to for in-person stuff, so I think that helps too.
And it is greatly appreciated. Definitely, thank you. How can community members take advantage of these public programs?
So the easiest way is probably by visiting our website. You'll find all the details for anything upcoming there. We do have an online calendar that is linked to on the website, and most things like the Jungle Gym program, we have a nice little slideshow on the front for upcoming stuff, and you can click on it and register yourself.
Excellent. I love that name. I love a good pun. Well, thank you so much for being with us here today, Ashley. I very much appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and thank you to the Cultural Council for funding these events. We're really glad to host them.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for applying.
Yeah.
It makes such a big difference. All right. FCC TV. I'm your host, Casey Taylor. This is Ashley Kenney. Thank you for watching.